UOK from the challenge, so we're going to be calling him UOK rather than Barcode. I think that just sounds a little bit better. He's going to be playing the Zerg pieces. Now, I don't know if either of these players have played any Starro at all, so we're likely to see some very wonky things come out of both players. What do you normally see new Starro players make? What's the new Protoss player? What do they normally do?
It's interesting. From what I've noticed, new players, they kind of go off and do their own thing for the first, handful of games. But then they start refining their build, especially, the higher tier players, Diamond Duff. They're going to start almost gravitating towards the old school StarCraft meta. But the thing is, they're not so mentally constrained by that. They're going to do some different things. Like we've seen, what was his name? He came in second last time. I think Rival was his clan.
Risk. Was it Risk?
Risk, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
awesome
we haven't seen a lot of this Swarmlord play until he started using them. So
yeah, Swarmlord.
I'm really looking forward to this.
With what was it? Guardian, Swarmlord Guardian. It was just so awesome to see.
Yeah, so I mean, this is already a little bit odd. Oh, never mind. All right, so UOK is getting his 12 hatch, which is pretty greedy actually in ZVP.
Yeah, I would agree.
Go for that pool first.
Yeah, something like an Overlord pool is much more normal. Now, one thing to note, and I see it's been commented on chat, is Chrono Boost. It costs 50 gas. And if you check here at the Queen, Queens cost gas as well. And the reason for that is when you have a Brood War base game, you just can't throw macro mechanics into it and expect it to be balanced. What we found was tier 1 units were coming out in such mass because of macro mechanics that it just wrecked the Brood War playstyle. So throwing that gas on there happens to delay it long enough in the game to where you don't end up with 100 Marines versus just a handful of mutas with a Zerg Trailblazer trying to do 2-hatch muta. It actually works out really well. The core mechanic in that is because you can macro from hotkeys. You see all the hotkeys down here for Duff. You can be out on the map looking at your army while that's going on, be macroing from your hotkeys, and there's no reason to actually go back to your base. But adding in macro mechanics forces players to go back to the base, so there's those opportunities for vultures to move up and drop mines next to dragoons, and there's the opportunity for lurkers to run up against a bio army and burrow and just massacre them all because the player chose to spend that time macroing rather than microing.
So an interesting thing that Duff is doing, he opened Gateway first into an expand, and we commented that UOK's opening was pretty greedy, but it turns out it wasn't, considering what Duff has opened with. Normally, Protoss will go for a Forge fast expand,
yes,
which is still viable in Brood War, or Starvo rather, and if you do that, you got that Forge ready to cannon early, so it's a bit more dangerous. And not to mention, you get that wall off early, so it's very safe from most of Zerg's openings, as long as you scout well. Now, UOK is sending out some Zerglings. Oh, I thought he already scouted that. Okay, so he looks like he's just going to scout with the Zerglings now.
Yeah, the Overlord got over here, but he's still scouting.
Yeah, still no wall off from Duff. Maybe he hasn't...
There we go, he's starting it with the Gateway now. One thing to note is Duff appears to what I would describe as playing in the manner of a StarCraft 2 Protoss player. They're used to having mothership cores, and mothership cores can defend most early aggression, and here in Starbo, it's very Brood War based. It's meant to be an expansion upon Brood War. There is no such early, easy defense for Protoss to just take a free base. Luckily though, the Zerg player didn't scout or choose to punish this. So
Zerg is putting up his third base. Now this might actually become a 3-hatch Hydra bust. He's getting his +1 attacks. He's got his Hydra then finished. That third hatch is coming up, but it might just be for Larva.
This is very true. Yeah.
And yeah, if you look at this wall off, it's very susceptible to, well, just about anything.
Yeah, and one thing to note though, the Protoss player has got his tech out incredibly fast. We're just here at the 7-minute mark, and we already have the robotics facility coming down. And tech this quickly is normally not possible. Normally, Protoss has to get that Forge, has to get a cannon, but because the Zerg player didn't really pressure his greedy choice of going single gateway first. He's actually really far ahead in the tech build.
I'm wondering if he's going to switch into a really quick, what's the word? Reavers. Just to
That's what I was
supplement
thinking
this
too.
heavy
But
army.
yeah, we do see, yes, and it will be Reavers. Reaver S is pretty prominent, very effective. Luckily, though, the Zerg player has already opened up with Hydra's speed, which is going to help him greatly when microing against those Scarabs. We don't know if UOK has, that level of micro to be able to split to deal with Scarabs. Let's check out his APM actually really quick, if I can.
Yeah,
do
UOK
that.
is actually really on top of his injects. His queens have never gone up over 15 energy so far.
Oh wow. Maybe I shouldn't check APM in the future, because we find out that UOK has massive APM, and it's not necessarily true for all players. But Duff is doing a build that I would say does require a bit of micro, going Reaver. We see he is getting a little supply block. Overlord though is going to get took out, so even with this high APM from UOK, he's still making a little misplays, still getting caught with the Overlords. Actually, his Overlords are kind of just rallying across the map right now.
Okay, so he's not droning up his third, he's just massing Hydras currently. And it looks like he's going in for that timing bust. But if this Reaver comes out in time, and it looks like it will, then I don't think he's going to be able to break this.
Oh, quick audio check with chat. I won't make any adjustments right now, but if you guys could just let us know what sounds coming through, what sounds not, if mic volume from one caster is too high or the other. I see Namas King saying no music.
Yoka has yet to miss an inject. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so that's actually the reason why that's so impressive.
He missed it.
Oh no, we got an engage.
So we got some fighting going on. And if you didn't know, Hydras annihilate. Oh god, this shuttle.
Ooh, that Reaver's in such a good
he's not
position.
paying attention.
He has to pick it up.
I'll pick it up.
Good. But it did it was so effective. Actually, the probes could probably be pulled to deal with the rest of this quite handedly. Probes eradicate. Here they go. Oh, they're going back now.
Alright, so Zealots are being pumped out on the S now.
Oh, he doesn't want to lose that pylon though. Here comes the Reaver. He's not going to be able to get a hold of him though, just getting one. That Zealot. Oh no, the Reaver. More Hydras coming up. This was a well-timed Hydra bus. I do like the Hydra bus decision. Yeah, Duff GG's. Well, looks like Duff is knocked out